Hey, what's going on, new youth advocates, Youth United Youth Advocates? Just want to go over part two of this Youth United Canva training. As you find out in your little task list package, Canva is not the be all end all of doing social media posts or doing event flyers. However, Detroit Wayne provides a paid account that's free for you to use. And a lot of DWIN departments tend to do flyers through Canva, and the flyers that you're going to be doing for your events have to be approved by Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network, especially if it has a system of care logo or a Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network logo. So with that being said, we'll get straight to it. We're going to talk about how to do flyers on on Canva. So when you're doing an event, let's say you're doing a human. No, let's say you're doing, for example, uh, a suicidology or suicide awareness event. There's a Wayne County Suicide Coalition Committee, and they needed me to do a flyer for a suicidology conference. So, obviously, suicide is a very sensitive topic. So, you have to keep that in mind when you're putting together a collection of images and graphics for an event flyer for an event that brings awareness to suicide. So I'm going to take you through the Detroit Wayne Canva site to the flyer that I did and kind of break down how I came up with some of the images, just to give you some ideas. Obviously, you're going to have your own spin to it as far as how you put together um, event flyers. So let me share screen right quick. So when you put together a flyer like this, now Suicide Prevention Coalition presents, so you can put Youth United presents and then da 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 dot 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 courageous conversations. For this one, it was called Suicidology Conference. Try to always make your title the biggest, the biggest font of all your other fonts, so people can kind of know what the event is called. You got your logos, logo placement. It all depends, but typically you see the logos at the top. And if it's like a bunch of logos, you see some at the top, you see some at the bottom. Um, I did some special effects with the text where I kind of gave it a shadow. Um, I added a photo image of someone reaching out to help. And then I added a photo of raindrops and added that to the background. So there's so many fancy things that you can do. So with that being said, let me just add a page just to kind of give you an idea. So I go to photos. Let's say, so the topic is suicide. The event is going to be a suicide awareness event. So you just go to photos, type in suicide. Um, Oftentimes suicide and depression go hand in hand. Um, and, studies show that for those that attempt suicide, they're not necessarily always trying to take their lives. They're looking for ways to make the pain from their depression go away. So let's just find an image that we can work with here. So see someone covering their face. They look frustrated, sitting on the floor, back against the wall. Go to effects, click on background remover. Might take like 5 seconds or so for the background remover to kick in. And usually the background remover is real accurate when it comes to removing the background. There we go. Okay. So now let's say you want to do a little, put some text to it. So I like the pre-made fonts already. You just click on this one, and then you can just play around with the size of the font. You say suicide awareness. And this alignment section at the top, you can kind of play around with the alignment of your text. They also got a spacing. You just point your mouse spacing. You kind of play around with this, with the spacing if you want. Kind of space out the wording. So let's just say suicide awareness. Now for the background, obviously, if you're doing an event, there's going to be a lot of young people involved. You definitely don't want something super plain. So let's see. Background, you can click on background. Let's see. Okay, there we go. It's kind of, a decent background. Move your images up. Now for your logos, if you haven't already saved your logos or downloaded it, it might already be in the upload section on Canva. You just got to scroll through. So got the Youth United logo. Shrink it a little bit. You can shrink the logo a little bit, okay? And whatever other logos, usually you can find it, the System of Care logo, the Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network logo. And now in smaller font, you usually kind of want to put, list some of the features in your event, like what's going to draw someone to your event. What are you going to have? You're going to have workshops, virtual panel, shared stories, whatever you plan on including is good to kind of list it on here. That's obviously going to be in a smaller font. So let's just say safety. You have a safety workshop. Let's see. What else? Let's say you're going to also have resources. In a lot of our virtual events, obviously we don't have the hard copy resources. So it's probably going to be, some resource and links that you're going to post in the chat section during your event on Zoom. You can also post it on the Youth United Facebook page when your event live streams on the Facebook Live. So just different things that you can do to be creative. You're the youth voice, so your creativity is going to be very much appreciated. So just some examples. And if you already have your Eventbrite link, you can also add it. You can put to register, click, and you just hold down the control key, click the letter V, and boom. You got the address on there. So that's the simplest way to add a link on your flyer so that when you go down up here and click on the download button for the PDF, for the flyer, this is what you're going to email to your supervisors so they can share it with community partners. You're going to share the PDF with them. So you just click on the PDF standard small file size, click download. Takes about a minute or so to download the flyer, depending on how much you got on the flyer. So suicide awareness, safety workshop, resources to register. Click. Now the registration link, that's just, I just kind of want to give an example. But normally, once you know your supervisor or your fellow youth advocate teaches you how to create a Youth United event on the Eventbrite, you're going to copy the Eventbrite event link and you're going to embed that onto the flyer. So let me show you all how you're going to do that. So let me show you all how we're going to do that. Let's see. Let me get rid of this link. So when you point up, there's a point your mouse, see a section says link, click on it, and then you just copy and paste your Eventbrite link. And then boom, you click apply, and bam. Is going to embed the link. It's going to embed the link. So now let's save it. Let's download it under PDF. Download. So now when you point your mouse on the actual PDF, you should be able to see a hand icon with an index finger pointing. That means your download has been correctly embedded onto the PDF. That way, when you email this PDF flyer to community partners, they can simply register for the event by opening up the PDF version of the flyer and clicking on it, and boom, it leads them to the Eventbrite event, and then they can register for it, and you're good to go. So just some ideas. Let's say your event was on human and sex trafficking, right? So let's share screen. let's say your event was on human and sex trafficking. Simply type in human trafficking. This right here, you can right click and let's try this one. Let's see, replace background. Nah, that's too big. Delete that. Try this right here. Click on it. Click on effects. Click on background remover. Give it a few seconds. It didn't work out like the way we wanted it to. So what we're going to do is we're simply going to delete it. Try this image again. Say we want to try a different image, right? And sometimes you just got to play around with with the images and try to find something that works. Let's try this one. Let's see what happens when we use the background remover. There we go. Okay. So we got our image of choice. Let's kind of just use a neutral background to go along with it. I like to use the pre-made fonts, like I said before.
Daddy, surprise!
So now what you want to do is, okay. So there's so many things you can do with the fonts. That's what I like about using these pre-made fonts. Let's just say, and you're going to be doing, well, for each region has courageous conversations, different ones every other month. So try to drag this down. Okay. So just like before, you put, little items that you're going to list of what your courageous conversations is going to include. So don't be afraid to, try out the different images too. Thank y'all for taking the time to check out some event flyer basics on Canva.